Mountain View Volleyball is live only on mylocalradio.com. Buffs Volleyball is in session for another action-packed fall season. Carrying you straight through the year and into the state tournament in November, mylocalradio.com is here to bring you live video coverage of Mountain View sports. With the opening serve quickly approaching, let's join Jake Hibbard, voice of the Buffaloes, in the My Local Radio broadcast booth for pregame coverage.
One more non-conference meet on the season and then just one more regular season match after tonight. Welcome in, Jake Hibbard joining you live from Cokeville High School on a Wednesday, October 23rd contest late in the season between two teams in two separate classifications, both looking with high state aspirations. Cokeville number 1 in Class 1A, Mountain View unranked, but has previously been in the top 3 and has hopes of getting even higher. They have a tune-up match tonight, and both of these teams in their final non-conference meeting of the season, getting ready for one more conference meeting on Friday. We'll be back with pregame coverage brought to you by Big Country Properties next on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Weststar Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Weststar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Weststar Printing, 307-789-5202.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Welcome into the Big Country Properties pregame show where broker Bobby Dozal is part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Commercial, residential, land, or ranch listings. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, call Big Country Properties at 307-782-3356. That's 307-782-3356. Or you can, of course, go online and visit bigcountryproperties.com. Well, in today's contest, it's Cokeville, the home team, Mountain View on the road. Cokeville, they've already wrapped up the #1 ranking in their conference. They're #1 in Class A, and for good reason. They stand at 24-5 on this season. They have a final meeting in conference against Farson-Eden on Friday. They're already sitting 7-0. They're in. The next best team is at 6-2 on this season. Their last loss, Cokeville's, was on September 14th, and that came to a top 4 team in 4A, Star Valley. Since then, they've reeled off 11 straight wins. As for Mountain View, they sit at 15-14, one game above 500, and they most recently are coming off of a 3-set loss to Pinedale last Friday. Cokeville's looking to tune up for another state championship run. Mountain View, they're looking to tune up for a Friday with Lyman with #2 seeding on the line. And what does #2 in the 3A West mean this year? Well, the 3A Southwest mean, well, it means a whole lot if you'll take a look down the line. You've got on the Northwest versus the Southwest, 4 regionals. One takes on 4 from the opposing quadrant, and then so on, 2 versus 3, and you get the picture. Warland is sitting at 5-0 in the Northwest Conference. Lander is at 4-1, and then Powell is at 1-4. Lovell at 0-5. Worland and Lander will play each other one more time this Saturday. Powell and Lovell will do the same. They'll play each other one more time. But either way, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are pretty much set in stone. And even if they weren't on the records, there is a clear differentiation between the power of Worland and Lander and then Lovell and Powell. So basically what you're looking at is Lander could still get into the number one. I think they could still get a share of it. But I think Worland has the inside track on that, having beaten having beaten Mountain View, and Lander lost to both Mountain View and Lyman. So I think when you look at next best wins against inside of the whole western region, I think Worland is in as the number one. So you're looking at Lander or Powell. And that's your first round matchup. If Mountain View wins, they're number two. If Lyman wins this Friday, they're number two. And the first round is very big because you win that opening round, then you're into the semifinals. If you lose that opening round, you can still make it to state, but you cannot finish with a 1 or a 2 seed. That is reserved for the two teams that go 2-0 on day one of the regional tournament a week down the road, November 1st in Lander. Number 2 also would mean sitting opposite of Pinedale in the bracket, as there will be the number 1 team in the Southwest. Number 2 is on the opposite side, and that would mean seeing Pinedale only potentially in a championship match as opposed to a semifinal match to try to get into the championship game on Saturday. So what's at stake next Friday for Mountain View and Lyman? A whole heck of a lot. Number 2 versus number 3. That doesn't seem too big when you just look at a 2 seed or a 3 seed, but when you look a little bit closer, there is a lot to be gained with a win on Friday. So for Mountain View today, they've been a little bit of an up and down program the last month, and they'll probably be looking to treat this game as a conference meeting and try to be as sharp as they hope to be against Lyman this coming Friday. We'll take a break on the Big Country Properties pregame show and return with head coach of the Cokeville Panthers, Bill Thompson, next on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Back on the Big Country Properties pregame show, call 782-3356 or visit bigcountryproperties.com to take a look at whether you're looking to buy or sell. If you want to look at some land available in the Bridger Valley or Uinta County as a whole or Lincoln County, you can go see bigcountryproperties.com to get a closer look at the available properties, or if you're looking to list, broker Bobby Dozal's who you want to list with. Now let's hear from Bill Thompson, head coach of the Cokeville Panthers, as we get ready for tonight's 5-setter. I've got Bill Thompson with me, head coach for the Cokeville Panthers. It's been over a month since this team's last loss. Have there been any tests along the way where maybe close calls and sets here and there?
When we went to Lyman, I thought that was a pretty good match for us there, and then Rich County came to our place and they pushed us a little bit, but we've been playing pretty good ball lately, so I can't really say it's a test or anything, but this is one that I know is going to give us a test right here.
You're getting close to regionals and state. That's next week and then the week after, and you got some experience coming back on this team. 4 girls who were members of that state championship team a year ago. And tell me a little bit about the turnover, because you lost some good athletes, but you had a lot returning. And going back to Cokeville, it didn't seem like this was a new team by any means. It looked like a bunch of veterans out there. How did that returning core help you out?
I think they realized that the returning core was mainly a lot of the seniors this year, and I tell them that this team is your team. I'll coach you the best I can, but this is your team, and so how you treat those younger players depends on what we're going to do at state. And so they've been treating these young players really well, accepting them in whatever roles given to them, and so I think that forms really a cohesive, good team with each other, and they respect each other. So I think that's probably what's helped us come along so as fast as we thought we would be able to.
You're sitting at undefeated in the conference season as you get ready for regionals. How do you think the head of your team collectively is sitting, getting ready for that a week out?
I think we'll be fine. That's one of our goals is that every year we set up, and our goal is to win regionals and then, of course, win state. And they work really hard to get to that point. And so we wanted to make sure we finished it in the upper echelon. And it's interesting. Sometimes if we're not in the upper echelon, we still figure that we got a chance to win regionals and state.
I've seen that a couple years ago. I remember something like that happening. What would you say the strength of this year's team is?
Probably our hitting. I've never had a team that has hit as high a percentage as this year's team, and they really work hard on improving their hitting, and so I think that's probably our best thing is our hitting right now.
Well, it's not like you have a plethora of girls to go and choose from, but you've got some pretty decent height this year as well.
Yeah, we do have good height, and we have a pretty deep bench. It's interesting. You talk about challenges. Our JV is probably they're a very good JV team, and they challenge our varsity all the time, and so that's probably helped us a lot too, is that fact that we can go deep on our bench.
Well, if you could have one thing get a little better in the next week, what would it be?
I'd like to have our passing be a lot better and our defense. Pick up a defense and passing is what I look at.
That's Bill Thompson, head coach for Cokeville. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Always appreciate talking with Bill Thompson as we hear him, I say, well on his way to yet another state championship as they've been at the last couple of years. Actually, the last three. They won last year. They won the year before that, and the year before that, that was the team that he was referring to that probably he didn't think necessarily, they weren't at the top. I think they were a number 3 seed coming in, but they made it through and found their way to the state championship and ended up losing that one, but got there nonetheless. We'll come back with head coach of the Mountain View Buffaloes, Diana Timms, as we continue this Big Country Properties pregame show next on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball, live and online at mylocalradio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christopherson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Welcome back to the Big Country Properties pregame show. Just a couple of minutes out of action here of Cokeville versus Mountain View. Let's hear for head lady of the Buffs, Diana Timms. I have Diana Timms with me as we get close to the end of the season. We've got a non-conference match against Cokeville. Playing Cokeville is kind of different than playing most 1A teams, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. Cokeville always has a good program. They always are very competitive. It's always a fun game, and you never ever want to overlook Cokeville because they just are a strong team.
I know we saw them at the Cokeville Invite, but I don't know if you really saw them play at all. Do you know too much about this team?
No, not really. I watched them a little bit against Lyman when they played in Lyman, but it was only one set that I got to watch, so I didn't get to see a whole lot about them. So we're kind of going in a little bit, I don't know, without much information about them, but just know that we've got to play because they're always contenders.
Against Pinedale, it was a 3-set win for them. Where do you think your team could have improved in some spots if you see them again?
Well, they definitely beat us in the serve-receive battle. They have 3 girls that are passing over a 2.2. And, our highest was a 2.0 exactly. So they're definitely beating us in that area. And as hitters, Jamie just, getting 20, 30 kills per game. She just not really stoppable sometimes, She's a phenomenal player. So we definitely have to really work hard and swing hard and maybe pick apart their defense a little bit better to be contenders in that game.
I missed you last week because we had the conference duels and I haven't been able to ask you about them. You go 3-1, you get Lovell, Powell, and then you beat Lander in 4. I was at that game, and then you lose to Warland. As a whole, what were your thoughts on that as the tournament, kind of a modified 2-day tournament?
It was a good weekend for us. We didn't play like we should have against Warland. We were really struggling, had a ton of errors. So I'm not really sure what happened there, or why we didn't show up much. But overall, I felt like it was a good weekend. I felt like the girls did a lot of good things. It's good to see those other teams and know where we stand. So,
I've been asking this for like a month now, but how's the health of the team?
This week is great, I think. We had a JV girl go down with a sprained ankle, but other than that, I think everyone's actually healthy now, so that's a plus for us.
I think no doubt that's played into some, with players missing here and there, it kind of takes them out of the rhythm and everything. But as you go down these last couple of weeks, is there anything that you think needs to be like re-brought together, or do you think just the team getting healthy and back together will be feeling all right and ready to go?
We've talked a lot about team unity this week, and I think that's where we've got to focus, make sure that we're here for the right reasons and that we're here to do it together, making sure that we're playing for the team and not just for ourselves or, for in different situations. I think that coming together and realizing that this is the last few times they're going to play together with this team, it's really important for them to just have a very unified front for the rest of the season.
Coach Timms, thank you.
Thanks.
We're just about there in the Big Country Properties pregame show for the opening serve of tonight's contest, Mountain View and Cokeville. When we come back, we will hear from a Mountain View Buffalo. We'll have, I think it's Allie Rinker. No, it's Camry Hutchings today when we come back on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
We hope you're enjoying this.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
I have Camry Hutchings with me, a sophomore setter. From last year to this year, as a freshman playing JV to a sophomore playing varsity, what do you think the biggest change and adjustment you needed to make from those two levels was?
I think it was like knowing my hitters and the game getting more intense, but like more exciting as I go.
As far as playing all the way around, you're certainly tall enough to do it, but does that come with a little extra added challenge being a setter and a blocker and all of that as far as trying to manage all of that? And do you come from a background of 5'1"? Is that always where you've been?
I haven't always been on a 5'1" on JV. I did a 6'2", and when I played freshman, it was a 5'1". But like as blocking goes, as soon as I block, I have to hurry and get off the net and find that ball no matter where it is. So, that's sometimes hard, but I get to it, so it's good.
As far as, being a setter, it kind of means you have to be a captain a lot of times. What are the difficult things and what are the things you really like about that challenge?
I like knowing, I need to do that, and that's my role on the team. And so, I can always push myself to do better in that.
You always are assisting on the kills, but you ever get a little jealous and want to be assisted on? Would you ever like to get out there and swing yourself?
Yeah, it'd always be fun to do that. But I know, even though I don't get all of the credit, they couldn't have done that without me. So, it would still be fun to hit the ball and all that, but I like setting a lot.
How long have you been setting?
Ever since 7th grade. I've never done any other position, so it's always been my favorite.
Has the coach ever told you why they put you at setter? Do you have any insight as to why it was always like, oh, Camry, she's a setter, that's what you got to do?
I've just always been tall, and they've always told me I've had nice hands and stuff. And
what's your background in volleyball? When did you first start trying to play as a kid and start to learn, to really set the ball or just kind of try to play with a system?
So I never really liked volleyball until 7th grade, and I did not want to go to practice at all. But once I started, I loved it. I knew that's what I wanted to do when I was older. And I just became better at it and worked harder at it so I could be where I am right now.
That was just 3 years ago. So you're telling me in 7th grade you walked in basically with very little to no volleyball experience prior?
Yes.
How did you make the jump to varsity in 3 years?
I worked hard. I would get up early in the morning before school, and I'd go practice setting every morning.
What was it that made you fall in love with the sport?
I don't know. I just knew as soon as I got into that gym and I was able to play my game, I just knew that's what it was.
It's Camry Hutchings, sophomore setter for Mountain View. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Starting lineups being announced right now. First for the Cokeville Panthers, we'll give them to you. At outside hitter, a senior, wears number 2, Emma Tykert. Riley Tykert is the other outside hitter, a junior. At middle blocker, Allison Peterson is a senior, and Lily Richardson, number 10, is also a senior. At right side hitter, Bailey Allred is a senior, and Camille Nate, a senior 2-time All-State setter, wears number 6. Sydney Brown, a returner at the libero position from a year ago. She's a senior, and Mallory Hoffman is a DS. Mallory Hoffman is a senior as well, and Sydney Brown actually a junior, pardon me. Now let's hear from your Mountain View Buff starters as we'll run you through them prior to the start of this contest.
Haley Stevens, outside senior.
Kylie Dellinger, middle, junior.
Ashley Timms, right side, freshman.
Cortland Condis, DS, senior.
Allie Rinker, outside,
junior.
Casey Bugis, libero, sophomore.
Camry Hutchings, setter, sophomore.
Emily Bugis, DS, sophomore.
Caitlin Timms, serving specialist, senior.
Olivia Meeks, middle, sophomore.
Yeah, welcome back as we heard from our own Mountain View Buffs for their starters. And today, Mountain View sitting at 15-14 on the season, looking for a win in their final non-conference meeting of the year. But more importantly, looking for a tune-up for Friday's match against Lyman. And it is going to be quite the contest if it plays out like it did last time with a 5-setter. Lyman had a 14-10 win in the bag. They needed one more point, and they would have won at 15-10 or 15-11 or 15-12 or 13 or 14. You get the picture. Mountain View ran off 6 points in a row to take that. Talking to Coach Timms as we were getting set for today's contest. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different team than she saw as from a month ago when they played in Lyman. That she says, yeah, we got a completely different team on our hands when we take on Lyman again. So you can catch that one on mylocalradio.com. You can see it right after the football game happens. I've got a screwy scoreboard right now. I guess you can see it, if nothing else. Just looks a little bit smaller than it should. Not sure quite why that is, but I'll see if I can fix that, or if nothing else, you do have the scoreboard up. First serve is Mountain View's to have, and it's Haley Stevens behind the back baseline, ready to serve it away left side of the net. We're underway, and the first bump up sets up to the outside. Tykert cross-court shot out of bounds and untouched. 1-0 Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Gives it back to Haley Stevens. And a touch called late, and I thought I may have seen that. And that will change things around and give it 1-0 the point to Cokeville. Instead. That brings in Sydney Brown, Lily Richardson. The middle blocker back to serve. First touch up by Bugis. Camry Hutchings jump sets to the outside on the 10-foot line. Rinker rolls it down to the middle block. To the middle themselves. A donut hole drop down for Allison Peterson. And 2 straight points for Cokeville out of the gates. Kill for Peterson. So it's 1 for Tykert, 1 for Peterson. Thank you for tuning in, everyone that did, for the Big Country Properties pregame show. Rolling shot end over end. And a right side attack from Kylie Dellinger. Back set to the middle. Peterson sends it out of bounds to the left side. First point for Mountain View. 2-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Caitlin Timms, the serving specialist and senior, ready to go for the Buffs. Timms sends it back left court. Nate sets up outside, a tip over 2 blockers for Tykert, and the kill for Riley Tykert is her second. And it's 3-1 Cokeville. Cokeville number 1 in the state in 1A. Really no competition either. They've rolled over anyone in that classification. Serve up from Bailey Allred. Outside attack, Olivia Meeks and Rinker go up. Meeks with the attack. Tykert cross court pushed up from Bugis. Set up Hutchings to Rinker on the outside. Deflected off the block of Camille Nate. Nate sets up to the outside. It's Tykert again, bouncing it off of one coverage block. Outside to Rinker for Mountain View. Off the tip of the block to the back court. Pushed up in the middle set. Peterson can just get it over the net. Condis and Bugis tag team to get the ball up and over for Mountain View. And a swing from the outside. And out of bounds, Riley Teichert sends it. Too long, 3-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emily Bugis serving for Mountain View. Bugis, a sophomore. DS. Back middle. Nate with the set at the 10-foot line to Teichert. Bugis goes down to the ground, returning it up, and a 3 and bump over from Camry Hutchings. Dump set from Nate. She was ready to jump it up to Peterson, and you can see why she's a two-time All-Stater. She just pushed it down with authority and no time for Mountain View to react. 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville on top early. Camille Nate as a 1A setter, 5'10", the tallest player on the team. Outside Meeks shoots it down on a cross court. Pushed up from Sydney Brown, and a block from Olivia Meeks. The attacker there was Emma Teichert, the senior, gets stuffed down. First block of the day for Olivia, and a point back to Mountain View. It's 4-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Allie Rinker serving for the Buffs. Goes long, held out of bounds. 5-3 Cokeville. Sydney Brown back serving for Cokeville. Lone player in the black jersey as the libero for the Panthers. Mountain View wearing black jerseys, save for Casey Bugis. Big swing out of the middle. Olivia Meeks with her second kill of the contest. And pardon me, a second point. She had one block, now a kill. 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View has a switch of rotations, bringing Olivia Meeks down to the bench. Casey Bugis back to serve. Kylie Dellinger into the front line, joined by Hutchings and Stevens. Rinker and Bugis, that being Emily and Casey in the back row. Emma Teichert down the line, saw a touch, and one ruled kill for Emma Teichert. Her first kill of the day. 6-4 the score, and 2-point lead for Cokeville. Decent student section out to the left of us for the homestanding Cokeville Panthers on senior night. Nate serves it to the middle. Rinker with the first touch up. Stevens tied on the line. The set is blocked, and Bugis tries to save it, but cannot it. Didn't get much up on it as she went down with the left fist. 7-4 the score. 3-point advantage for Cokeville. Nate back serving again. Power serve. Rinker calls off Bugis. Dump set from Hutchings. Picked up. That was Nate. Out of system. That puts Allred at the center position. A little swing and a zero attack over. Back to Mountain View's side. Haley Stevens touches it over the block. Teichert sets up outside, and on the swing there, it was Teichert. That's a third Teichert. Tana Teichert at the middle. Dellinger swings, and it's out of bounds by a hair. 8-4 Cokeville. 8-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Still a serve for Camille Nate. Back left return from Emily Bugis. Bump set Hutchings to the 10-foot line. Stevens bounces it off of one blocker. Nate jump sets back to Teichert. Tip through the block, but it did not touch anyone. Went out of bounds. Air for Emma Teichert, and a point back to Mountain View. Camry Hutchings serving. Brings in the right side hitter, freshman Ashley Timms for the Buffs. Sitting at 15-14 on the year, trying to get a couple games over 500. Tana Teichert shoots it right through the block of Kylie Dellinger, and the point for Teichert. Have three outsides, all of them with the last name of Teichert. 9-5 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over, Rinker with a bump up. Timms to Hutchings, and that's a third little dump over. High setup from Allred to the middle. Back in the front line, Lily Richardson gets a swing on it. To the right side, Timms is blocked. Save from Bugis. Student section comes alive after that. Dellinger swinging from the middle. Sydney Brown and Peterson converging at the middle to push one up. Camry Hutchings outside to Stevens. Return tied on the net and down. A return from Brown goes into the net for Cokeville. And a point back to Mountain View. 9-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Haley Stevens, the server. Out of bounds, and out of bounds by a mile. 10-6. Almost ended up in the bleachers before a hop. Lily Richardson serving. Lofts it over. About 13 feet past the net. Rinker gets the return and the ensuing attack. Goes back middle on the swing. Nate gets a setup to Tykert. Out of bounds, no touch this time. Tim's held off, and that's an attacking error for Riley Tykert. Point back, Mountain View. Down by 3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Olivia Meeks checks in for Casey Bugis. Kylie Dellinger out as well. Caitlin Timms in serving for Dellinger. That'll bring Casey Bugis in for Timms following the serving run. Caitlin hopes it's a long one. Back set, and Allred gets a little dump up. Cortland Condis returns it over the net, shoots it down the line, but it's out of bounds. So one and done for Caitlin Timms, the server. After Mountain View can't handle the little tip over from Bailey Allred. 8 kills already for Cokeville. Hutchings gets a high return, has to dig it out of the net. Meeks gets a swing on it from the outside. Nearly taken over, but returned back to Mountain View's side. Back set to Bugis. The libero attack is a cross quarter. High return over the net. Allred swung it over. Hutchings to the middle. Meeks winds up, had to wait on the approach a little bit. Hits it into the net. The set was a little bit off of where Meeks was looking for it. 12-7 the score. 5-point advantage for the 1A Cokeville program with not a loss in October and not a loss since September 14th. Right side attack from Ashley Timms and a net. Caught in the net there. I didn't see who it was. I thought I saw 4 signaled, but I think it was 5, Riley Tykert perhaps. Either way, it's a point back to Mountain View. 12-8 the score. Emily Bugis, the DS, serving for the Buffs. End over end, serves it to Emma Tykert on the return. Outside, and a swing from Riley Tykert. Cross-court shot. Casey Bugis goes racing after it, but it goes rolling into the student section. 13-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 3 kills for the junior Riley Tykert. She'll move out of the front line to the back to serve. That pushes Emma Tykert up into the front row for her swings. Allie Rinker, right of center at about the 10-foot line, swings across quarter, nearly a kill. Returned up by Cokeville, and a swing at the middle for Allison Peterson. Finds the sideline. Touches down on the white tape, a timeout taken after that point. 14-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, and Mountain View down by 6 in the opening set. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
(14-8) on the Benedict's Market and True Value board here in Cokeville as the Panthers leading in set number 1. Mountain View still in the huddle. Clock ticks down to about 6 seconds as they break it. For Cokeville, they got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 earned points by way of kills. For the Buffs, we got a point from Olivia Meeks on a block and one from a kill, and that's it. Outside, Olivia, the sophomore, rolls it out of bounds, got under the ball. 15-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Riley Tykert leads the way in kills for Cokeville in the first set. She's back serving and lofts it a little too light. Grazes the bottom of the net. That's an error. Point to Mountain View in a rotation switch. Puts Allie Rinker in the back line. 15-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Rinker rolls it over the net. Nate at the right side. Swing from Peterson and a kill. Power shot after a great quick back set by Camille Nate. 16-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Peterson, kill number 3 for her. 7-point lead. And Sydney Brown, the server. First touch from Rinker. Hutchings Shoots to the middle. Again, Meeks under the ball. It's out of bounds, and point back to Cokeville. Not a whole lot of energy being shown right now on the Mountain View side. Look pretty dead. Brown serving. Sends it over. Shanked return from Emily Bugis. And an ace effectively for Sydney Brown. 18-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Timeout number 2 already taken by Mountain View. They've done nothing but give up points after coming out of the break. Cokeville looking strong, doubling up 3A Mountain View on this First Bank presentation of Buffs Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Out of timeouts now, 18-9 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Homestanding Cokeville on their final senior performance. Got 6 seniors on this team. Out on the court right now, Haley Stevens swings and converts for a kill. Out of the break, a point back to Mountain View. Power shot from Stevens. Mountain View still down by 8 in the opening set, so still a long ways to go. Olivia Meeks onto the bench. Out in the rotation. Turns around to Kylie Dellinger. Back in at middle blocker. Casey Bugis back serving. The libero sophomore for the Buffs. Good serve from Bugis. 3 bumps and over for Cokeville. Back to Mountain View. Time to convert. Stevens tips it over the block. Pancake was up, but no second to be. It was Mallory Hoffman getting a pancake up with the right palm. I guess that's the back of her hand rather than the palm. 2 straight points out of the break for the Buffs. 18-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Loft serve. Had a little bit too much spin on it to get side-to-side motion. Swing from Tykert. Picked up. And Stevens hits it off the side of her hand. That tricked the block, that tricked the defense. No one was ready for that one. And 3 straight kills out of the break and points for Haley Stevens and Mountain View. 18-12 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bugis her 3rd serve. Back right side, it's Emma Tykert with it. And the attack is out. Tykert swings it long and out of bounds. Looks like Coach Thompson's going to call a timeout here. 4 points out of the break. Mountain View on a roll, but still down 5. Cokeville versus Mountain View, set 1 when we return on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
18-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Casey Bugis serving for Mountain View. 4 straight points for the Buffs. Out of the break, it's out of bounds on the serve. Well, that'll end it. 19-13 the score. A good little bit of life shown by Mountain View. They certainly had no energy coming out of the break. After the first time out, a different story after the second. They were only a few points away from each other. Serve from Camille Nate. Middle attack, Dellinger goes over the block. Picked up in the back line from Tykert. Swing by Tykert, and a shanked return from Stevens goes into the student section on a 1-hop. It's 20-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. That was Tana Tykert. 20-13 the score. Camille Nate serves. High bump from Rinker. Long run for Hutchings, though, and Rinker can't get out of the way or can't have Hutchings was kind of had the ball go straight up, and then it was coming back to her. Rinker tried to get a bump over her head. It goes down to the ground and a point to Cokeville. After the Cokeville timeout, they've got all the points. Since 3 straight, Stevens cross quarter and a point back to the Buffaloes. 4 points for Haley Stevens by way of attacks. 21-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Hutchings serving. The sophomore center, we heard from her pregame. Nate at the center, has options, fakes middle, goes to the left of net. Tykert swings it over with the left hand. Deep corner push from Haley Stevens. It's a bump over from Camille Nate. Back to Mountain View side. Allie Rinker to Hutchings. Jump set middle, and Dellinger is out of bounds. 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emma Tykert back to serve. Riley Tykert back into the front row. Bailey Allred also into the front row at right side hitter. Down the line and just, you're going to call that out. Apparently just out of bounds for Stevens. It was sure looked in there and called out. 23-14. Should have been Stevens' 5th kill of the set. Instead, it's a point back Cokeville's way. 23-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tim swings from the outside, picked up by Cokeville. Tykert returns fire, tools it off the block of Dellinger, and the kill for Riley Tykert. Her 4th, 24-14, set point number 1 for Cokeville. Serving for the win is Emma Tykert. To the middle, a shanked return, chased down by Stevens. Casey Bugas bumps it forward and over the net. Nate has options, goes right side. Allred with the swing down the line, and the right side hitter gets her 2nd kill of the set. This one, the winner. 25-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com. 2nd set here in Cokeville when we return.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Long break there for the Mountain View Buffs. They take the court right as everything goes 0. Mountain View was in the huddle. Meanwhile, Cokeville was having warm-ups. They were kind of running the pregame rituals again, playing Pepper down on the sidelines. A lot to talk about after a 25-14 loss for the Buffs, which now reside on the right side of the net. Opening serve is Lily Richardson for Cokeville. Cokeville in the white jerseys on the left of the net. First return from Bugis at the middle. Rinker with a big spot in the back right court for Cokeville gets the opening kill. Rinker was held without a point earned in the first set. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View with the kill. Allie Rinker moves back to serve for Mountain View. Nate sets up close to the net. Richardson right at Rinker for the attack and kill. It was Allison Peterson with the attack there, her fourth. 1-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serving is Bailey Allred. She had the winning point of the first set, an ace. A lift called on Mountain View and a double hit right after that. And 2-1. Try it again for Allred. She winds up on the ball. Drops it down. It's kind of like a sinker ball out there. Down the line, Stevens with the outside attack. 2-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Haley Stevens with 5 kills in the game. That leads Mountain View by a mighty margin. Only player from the Buffs with multiple kills in the contest so far. Was talking to Coach Brescia Hansen for the Lyman Eagles. Got a spider dangling down to the right of me. I know someone who wouldn't appreciate that happening right now. Tip over from Cokeville. Set up Rinker on the Mountain View side. Stevens goes over the block and just pushed up from Hoffman. A block. Tykert is rejected by Dellinger. She'll try it again. 2 on her. Shoots it over the block this time. Hutchings dumps it down to the middle. Returned over the net and out of bounds. Point Mountain View. Give Camry Hutchings the kill there. Well, I was talking to Brescia Hansen, and we'll hear from her on Friday from this conversation. She said, you know, volleyball is really the only sport other than tennis where you have to start over after every set. And when they were taking on Pinedale, that was kind of a concern when they lost that third set. They had to start all over. Pinedale was so hot in the fourth, and they nearly lost the fifth. Lyman was just able to pick up a win in that fifth set. Back under action, Mountain View leading Cokeville in the second set, 3-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Line shot from Tana Tykert, picked up by Rinker. The second touch from Bugis and the third over by Stevens. Nate, one set to the middle. Peterson inbounds. My goodness. 3-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tykert serving. Outside Dellinger. Swing and an attack for a kill. Kylie Dellinger, her first kill of the match. 4-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Ashley Timms into the game in for Emily Bugis. Camry Hutchings back to serve. Mountain View a 1-point lead. Lost the first set by a big margin, but like we were talking about, you get to start all over in set number 2. Emma Tykert, big swing. Deflected on the block at the net. Hutchings sets up to Stevens. Outside swing. 2 blockers on her, and it goes off the hands of Allison Peterson for the kill. Haley Stevens with another swing and conversion. 5-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Hutchings serves. Sydney Brown with the first touch up. Camille Nate back sets. Swing from Tykert. Now that's Peterson there. Outside, Stevens returns fire, hits it off the side of her hand. She did that one time last set, and it worked out to her advantage. This time it doesn't go over the net. 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Sydney Brown serving for Cokeville. Down just 1 point in set 1, or in set 2. They won set 1 by a big margin. 25-14 the final on that one. High return from Rinker, right to Hutchings. Back set Stevens right where they wanted it. It was in system. A great setup from Allie Rinker to lead to Camry Hutchings, who found Haley Stevens on the right of the net. After that zone 2 attack by Haley Stevens, she'll go back to serve. Rinker back up into the front line at outside hitter. Timms joining her at right side and Dellinger at the middle. Loft just over the net from Stevens. Nate, a big setup. Swing by Tykert. Returned high and good for Bugis. She swings at it, tries to get it over the net. Goes into it. The libero attack is over 2 today. 6-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leading. And Camille Nate, the server. Takes her time, the 5'10 senior, two-time All-State setter. Hutchings at the middle of the net, sets up for Rinker. She gets under the ball, and that's not what you want to do. This isn't baseball, this is volleyball, so that's not good. It goes out of bounds, 6-6. Rinker had a little trouble last time I was at a Mountain View game in the first set, getting under the ball quite a bit. That was against Lander. She figured it out in an eventual 4-set win. A good swing from Rinker this time. Picked up from Nate. Takes him out of system, though. Tykert sets to Tykert. Out of bounds. You got to be kidding me. Well, I think this line judge may want to try out for CB Buckner's umpiring crew in the major leagues. It's getting a bit absurd. 7-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back right return, Cortland Condis touches it up. Didn't see her in the first set. Nate, high, and to the right side. Tykert is blocked by Rinker. Allie Rinker with the block, second block for Mountain View in the contest. Tie game, 7-7. Rinker with a block and a kill. Brings in Caitlin Timms. Casey Bugas to the bench momentarily. Timms on a serving roll here. Sends it over the net. Nate outside to Tykert. Great elevation there by Riley Tykert. Looked like a 25-plus inch vertical on that jump up. 8-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on the termination. Riley Tykert started off with 4 kills in the opening set. Gets her first here in set number 2. 1 point lead is all of a sudden Cokeville's. Emma Tykert, the server. Long run for a setup by Hutchings. Roll down the line. The back middle was from Rinker. Tykert is attacking. Partially blocked by Timms. Sent over on a second return push. Tykert's blocked again by Meeks, but returned over the net. Rinker to Hutchings. Dump set. And she pushes it back right corner. Nate outside. Tykert's blocked for a third time. 1, 2, and a third. Bumped over again. Cokeville surviving and advancing on to the next play. Rinker down the line, and that terminates it. It was a push up from Camille Nate that went behind her back to tie it back up. 8-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as the away crowd comes alive following that point to tie it up. 16 points have been scored, 8 either way in the second set here. Emily Bugas, the server. Nate sets up outside for Tykert. It returned over the net, but caught in it. Olivia Meeks called for that. Yeah, it was Olivia Meeks called for that net touch there. She was trying to dig it out after the partial block. They've definitely been getting hands on the block. They blocked Tykert 3 times on the last play. This one just rolled over onto the Mountain View side. Hutchings sets it, and it's way behind where Olivia Meeks was setting up to swing on it. She backs up behind the 10-foot line, tries a push, but it's out of bounds. 10-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. There's a little bit of adversity for Mountain View to try to work through. They had everything going their way in set 2 early on. Points have errors have kind of added up here a little bit late. Out of system, 3 bumps and over for Mountain View. A little bump over from Cokeville as well. That was a weak attack outside. Rinker off the line and off the hands of Harley Harmon. Didn't see her at all last set. Right side hitter for Cokeville. She is a junior, listed at 5'8". 10-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board after the kill from Allie. She has 3 kills in the set, none in the first set. And an ace, add that on for Rinker, the first ace of the day for Mountain View. Serve it up again for Allie, 10-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. High return from Tykert. Tana sets up to attack, and it's into the net. Lead back Mountain View's way. 11-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Third serve for Allie Rinker. Now again with the lead. Emma Tykert picks it up, and then Tykert sets to Tykert. We got the law firm going on here, and 4 hits from Mountain View gives the points back to Cokeville. Harley Harmon serving for Cokeville. She did not play in set number 1. Serves it back middle. Bugas to Hutchings. Outside, it's Stevens pushing it over the block, and she caught him napping. Harmon was way in the back line. with that push over the block, dropped down about 8 feet from the net. 3 kills for Stevens in the set, and Mountain View, more importantly, back on top, 12-11 for the Buffs. Casey Bugis, the sophomore libero, in to serve. Sends it over, returned over the net. Dellinger tees off. 2-point lead for the Mountain View. 13-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Second kill for Dellinger in the set. Her first came on a swing from the outside. This one was almost an ace. You'd have to call it half an ace for Casey Bugis, forcing the bad return from Emma Tykert. Serve again from Bugis. Tykert ready for this one. Set outside, and Tana Tykert deflects it off the block. Hutchings had hands on it. Now she sets it. Stevens, it's out of bounds. 13-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 13-12, and Mountain View's crowd is letting them hear it. Long serve, opted to return. Goes Casey Bugis, outside swing, and Haley Stevens have to win it on the court. Not going to get any calls tonight. 14-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leads 1-0. Camry Hutchins serving. Into the net. 14-13. 1 point back Cokeville's way. Sydney Brown in as the libero to serve for Cokeville. Wearing the black jersey, left side of the net is where Cokeville resides. Mountain View on the right in set number 2. 1 point contest, right side set, and Stevens with the attack and kill. Mallory Hoffman went up and grabbed it. Probably was heading out of bounds otherwise. 15-13. Stevens racking up the kills. Now she goes back to serve. Into the net. Back-to-back serves for Mountain View. Have not found the other side of the court. Cortland Condis replaces Haley. Camille Nate serving for Cokeville. It's long, it's just inbounds. Condis with the first touch. Hutchings to Rinker. She winds up on it, 8 feet from the net, and picked up by Cokeville. Bump over. No, Tykert calls off Sydney. And it's a slap over. Back to Rinker for the attack again. Cross quarter, diving save made from Sydney Brown. Bump set from Nate and over by Tykert on a third bump. 15-14 the score. To the middle, Dellinger tips it over 3 blockers. Brown and Nate dumps it over, and Dellinger can't do the same. She gets called for a lift. 15 all. Hold on a tick. Point goes Mountain View's way. Switch it around. 16-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Caitlin Tim serving. And an ace for the senior serving specialist, Caitlin Timms. We'll get to try another. It was an illegal attack. It was an illegal back row attack for Camille Nate. She is in the back line right now and sending it over like that. So that was the reason for the reverse call of Mountain View and Cokeville. A block down, just keeping it up. Mountain View has Cortland Condis push it over. That was a good block there. That was from Lily Richardson. Back on Mountain View's side. Hutchings outside to Rinker. This time down the line. Nate gets one hand up on it. A second, still playing. Tana Tykert got it, but a third bump rolls into the net. Point Mountain View. They lead it 18-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And Coach Thompson needs a timeout to talk it over. 1-0 lead for Cokeville, but they trail by 4 in the second. We'll be back in 30 seconds on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
Back here at Cokeville, where you see a spotted crowd around, but it is certainly loud in this gymnasium. The people who are here, including the student section just to the left and crawling out of view as we get a look at Caitlin Timms setting up to serve, is very, very loud here in this gymnasium. And also a staple of Cokeville High School gym, it's a little hot in here. Outside, Teicher gets a big swing at it. Timms cannot get a return up. 18-15, point out of the break to Cokeville. Timms checks out. That brings Casey Bugis back into the game. Emma Teichert serving for Cokeville. 6 seniors for Cokeville on their senior night. Mountain Views is this Friday against Lyman. Rinker blocked big, but Bugis returns it. Tipped over the net from Peterson. Set up from the backside. Olivia Meeks inbounds for the kill. Well, there was no denying that one inbounds. 4-point lead from Mountain View. Timms is replaced by Emily Bugis. Camry Hutchings moves from the back line up to the front. And Bugis to serve it over. 4-point lead for Mountain View over Cokeville. Nate sets backside. She masks that well. A swing from Allred. You can't really tell when it's coming out of her hands whether it's going outside or back. Nate again, this time to the outside. Teichert winds up. It was blocked by Meeks. Picked back up. Bump set from Allred to the 10-foot line. Teichert swings on it again. Hutchings to Rinker. Cross quarter, high return. Almost hits the rafters. Nate watches it go down. Now line to Teichert. Cross quarter. Bump over from Meeks. A little bit of pepper on that one. Emma Teichert gets the first return, and then Tana Teichert knocks it off the right arm of Camry Hutchings for the kill. 3 kills for Teichert, that being Tana in this second set. In the match, rather, so far in the first couple of sets. 19-16 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leads Cokeville. Cokeville leads the set count 1-0. Hutchings to Meeks, this time from the outside. It's out of bounds by a mile. 19-17. One timeout's been taken from Cokeville, and now one taken by Mountain View. A 2-point differential. 19-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball, being hosted by Cokeville on senior night on a First Bank presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Back out onto the court. Cokeville down by 2, 19-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Camille Nate serving. Sends it over to the middle. Rinker is there. Hutchings bump sets high, and a bump over from Rinker. Diving attempt needed. Nate digs it out of the net, and a swing from Tana Teichert. Bugis saves the cross-court would-be kill. Rinker rolls it over the net. A diving save made by Teichert. Tried to Tana Teichert, and she is blocked for the point out of the break. Camry Hutchings stuffs it down. 20-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First block of the day for Camry. In all, I've got Mountain View with 3 blocks in the game. Rinker serves it over. First touch from Sydney Brown. A roll shot from Teichert. Bugis made a late play to get it up and over. Back to Cokeville side. Teichert close to the net. Pancake no good for Haley Stevens. Point back Cokeville's way. It's 2-point differential. Cokeville trails by 2, 20-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bailey Allred to serve. And Bugis just gets it up. 3 bumps and over. 20-18 to the middle. Teichert swings on it from the assist from Nate. Still up. Stevens is blocked. Rinker pushes it up tight on the net. Hutchings floats it over. Illegal there. Allred gives it to Nate. She corners it. And Bugis gets a second touch up after Rinker hit it on the first time. Rinker's the first to help Casey back up and say, my bad, I should have let you get that. 20-19, Cokeville close to crawling back. Allred serves it. Hutchings sets to Stevens, and she pushes it into the net. We're tied up. 20-20 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bailey Allred serving for a third time. Bugis misjudges. That was Emily there. Stevens, sharp cross against two blockers. To the back line, Emma Tykert throws it over. Rinker to Hutchings. She skyhooks, kind of dunks it down over the net. 21-20 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 1 point lead for Mountain View now. 2 kills and a block for Camry Hutchings in the game. (21-20). Casey Bugis just over the net on the serve. Nate high and outside to Tykert. Dug out from Dellinger. Pushed over by Rinker. Nate to the middle. Peterson swings at it and is picked back up by Bugis. 10-foot line attack. Rinker has 2 players converging in Brown and Tykert running into each other, trying to pick that one up. Results in the kill for Allie Rinker. 22-20 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Second timeout taken by Coach Thompson and the Cokeville Panthers. 3 points away from a set 2 winner to tie it up for Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Buffs Volleyball.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
(22-20) on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View with the serve in the lead in set number 2. Cokeville took the first by a wide margin, 25-14. Casey Bugis with the serve, and it's into the net. Serving errors have been a bit of a problem this set for Mountain View, taking away really even the opportunity to get a point after getting the side out. Cross serve over to the back left side. Stevens with 2 blockers on her. Nate with hands on it. Stays on Mountain View's side. Stevens pushes it back left corner to Sydney Brown. Peterson tries to touch it over the net. It finds the top of the tape, stands on it for a bit, and then rolls backward. 23-21 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Camry Hutchings with the serve for Mountain View. First touch by Emma Tykert. Back set to Richardson. Picked up in the back line for Mountain View, and Dellinger kills at the middle. She just stood up, swung at it, and knocked it into the back left court on the sideline at touchdown. It's set point number 1 for the Buffs. Camry Hutchings serving for set point. Sets up right of center on the net. Brown with the first touch. Nate to Tykert. Great save by Bugis. Bump set from Hutchings and an outside push from Stevens. Nate on the setup to Tykert. Emma puts it over 2 blockers. Stevens over her head to Rinker. She pushes it over on the second hit. Nate to the middle. And Richardson will make that Peterson with the kill. She tipped it past the block and into a hole. 24-22. Set point number 2 for Mountain View. It's Sydney Brown serving. High up, Rinker to Hutchings. Right side, Stevens. Ooh, can't get it over the net. Sydney Brown will serve following this timeout taken. Set point number 3, 24-23 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board when we return.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
(24-23) on the Benedict's Market and True Value boards. Cokeville with the serve. Set point number 3 for Mountain View. Sydney Brown serving it. To the middle. Allie Rinker touches it. Rinker back set to Stevens. Close to a kill, but picked up. That was Mallory Hoffman on it. Outside attack from Tykert. There's Casey Bugis. To the middle. Dellinger tips it over one blocker. Returned over the net from Hoffman. Dellinger jumps up. Tries to put it over again. Tipped down by Nate. And they've tied it up at 24 apiece. Camille Nate. Well, hold on. No, we've got the point. I thought I saw a reversal. Camille Nate gets the point. Second kill for Camille. And now we're 2 points either way for the win in set number 2. Cokeville with the serve. Sydney Brown has it. Bounces it off her hands a couple of times. Now slaps it over. High return from Dellinger. Camry Hutchings sets from far right. Stevens corner push. And a diving save to get the ball up. There was Emmy Barnes. And it's over. No, it's touchdown. 4 hits for Cokeville. Set point number 4 for Mountain View. Served over from Stevens. It's a 30 bumps and over from Camille Nate. On to Mountain View to end it and win set number 2 to tie it up. A push over and into the net. Allie Rinker pushes it over from the outside position and wins it 26-24. The final in set 2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View ties up the set count at 1 apiece. We will head to break and come back with set number 3 next, live from Cokeville High School. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles. I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNYN 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry. We'll post all the episodes up to MyLocalRadio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNYN 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at MyLocalRadio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
We'll be in Lyman tomorrow for a 3 o'clock kickoff as Lyman and Big Piney finish off their season, and we could have a tie, a three-way tie between Lyman, Lovell, and Big Piney if everything goes the way Lyman would hope it does. I guess they won't mind if Lovell wins or not, but if Lyman can win this game against Pinedale, they could be the number 2 or maybe the number 3 seed, depending how the point differential works out. Underway here, Mountain View with the opening serve. It's Allie Rinker. Sent over from Tyker on Cokeville's side. Now back to Mountain View. Cross-court shot and a touch called. And give the kill to Stevens. Nine kills for Haley in the first 2 sets, and now 1 in the third. Nearly an ace. Camille Nate just pushes it over on a little bump up from the middle. And Olivia Meeks finds the inbounds left corner of the court. 2-0 on the Benedict's Market entry value board as we start set number 3. We mentioned for both of these teams it could be a momentum game as Cokeville, they're far and away the champs. I'd say momentum-wise, Mountain View in a little bit more of a need of that than Cokeville at the moment. A swing from Riley Tyker. She gets it down on the hands of Olivia Meeks, who tries to kick it out, but that's a double hit. She'd already touched it, 2-1. The score on the Benedict's Market entry value board. Serve over. Meeks is blocked. Bugis pushes it up on a second. Stevens to the corner. Tyker there to Nate. Outside attack. It's Riley Tyker just in front of Casey Bugis. Diving forward with the left hand. 2-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over again. Hutchings back sets to the lefty of Meeks. He's pushed up from Nate, taking her out of the play. Pushed over, a bump over, I should say. Hutchings to the outside. Stevens down the line, and a kill for Haley Stevens. Number 10 in the game. She leads the way in kills in this contest on both sides. 3-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Got Casey Bugis back serving. For Mountain View, left to the net in set number 3. Bump set from Nate and goes to Riley Tykert. Bugis watches it. She goes tumbling down to the ground on the return. Roll over the block. Nate to Allred, middle set. Peterson over the hands of Dellinger, and a net touch called on Kylie. 3-3. Now check that back. It's 4-2. Cokeville was the team with the lead. No, that's the scoreboard's mistake. It's 3-3. All right. Mountain View can't get the serve back over, so it's an ace for Allred. And now Cokeville has the lead, 4-3. Rinker shanks the bump up, back-to-back aces for Bailey Allred. 5-3 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Allred setting up for serve number 3. Emily Bugis returns this one. Right side attack, Dellinger. Thought she had a kill down the line, but Sydney Brown made a good save up. Back to Mountain View side. Tip over from Hutchings. Allred on the first touch. Nate jump sets back to the outside. It's Tykert going on cross court off the hands of Rinker for a kill. 6-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 7 kills for Riley Tykert. Mountain View down by 3. Allred serving. Push from Rinker. Hutchings back set. It's a slide to Dellinger, out of bounds. 7-3. Another point goes out for Mountain View. Allred still serving. To the back left. It's Bugis on the first touch. Stevens on the attack. Long set from Nate. Blocked by Dellinger on the Tykert attack. Dellinger gets it over the net, and a lift called on Cokeville. Point back to Mountain View, 7-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Camry Hutchings serves. She's awaiting a substitution. On Cokeville's side, Mallory Hoffman into the back row. And the serve over from Hutchings. Tykert on the first touch, then to Nate Peterson at the middle, a big swing. Well, Lily Richardson, she's lifted at 5'9". She is at least as tall as Camille Nate, listed at 5'10", if not half an inch taller. So there's some good height on this Cokeville team as a 1A program. 8-4 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over from Cokeville, 8-4 the score. Backline attack, Rinker touches it up, and it's to the middle. Peterson again. I misspoke that last time. Richardson is 10, Peterson is 3. She gets back-to-back kills. 9-4. Set has become all Cokeville's. In the third. Jump serve. It's over, and a pretty good one. Outside attack, Timms wanted a touch. Didn't find it. Timeout by Coach Diana Timms. 10-4 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We'll take a break, be back on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
If you want your truck to really...
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
A 10-4 score on the Benedict's Market and True Value boards. We welcome you back to Cokeville High School. Final week of the regular season. This a Wednesday contest. Both teams have Friday finales in their conference play. Mountain View at the 3A level, Cokeville at the 1A classification. Jump serve over from Riley Tykert out of the break. A point straight back for Cokeville. Their lead extends 11-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First set was 25-14. And that was all Cokeville. Second set, Mountain View had a bit of a lead, gave it up, but crawled back and got a 26-24 victory to tie it up. This set, all Cokeville's again. Rinker with a return up. Serve receive has been Jekyll and Hyde throughout the season for Mountain View. This time a good return leads to a strong attack from Haley Stevens. And the kill for Mountain View, 11-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Stevens serves after that attack. Tykert with the first touch. Nate bumps back to Emma Tykert. Slaps it over on a cross court. Return tight on the net. Touchdown by Peterson. Bad return there for Mountain View. 12-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 7-point lead for Cokeville. They last lost on September 14th. That was to Star Valley. It was a team I voted number 3 last week in the wildpreps.com coaches and media poll at the 4A level. 10-foot line attack, Rinker shoots it on a cross court. Picked up though. Tykert tries the same. Cross court returned by Bugis. Rinker swings on it, a big wind up there into the net after a low return from Cokeville's side. Give the kill to Rinker. Now working their way halfway back to overtaking Cokeville. 12-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View has Caitlin Timms coming to serve. Nate sets up high to Tykert. She goes down the line and a perfect shot into the corner for the kill. Emma Tykert with a pretty quiet day swinging. I'd have that as just her second kill on the day. 3 from Tana and 7 from Riley. Power serve over. High from Hutchings. Meeks goes off the block of Emma Tykert. 13-7 goes 13-8. Meeks 4 kills today. They have not added the point yet. Still waiting on the point. Nope, it was 13-7, so 13-6, so yeah, it's all right. 13-7 now. I was wrong on that. Emma Teichert to the right side, ran on a tandem to the right. Came out of nowhere, and the point goes back to Cokeville, 14-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Teichert serving, following the attack. Rinker returns it close to the net. Hutchings trying to dig it out, called for a lift. 15-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Teichert, ace serve. She shot it just over the net. Condas dove and tried to make a play, could not. 16-7 serve receive. A problem again for Mountain View, and a timeout to talk about it. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball, trailing Cokeville 16-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on mylocalradio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Becoming a runaway for Cokeville as we welcome you back to Cokeville High School. Final week of the regular season. The Panthers, homestanding team, leading Mountain View 16-7 in set number 3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Set count is tied at 1 apiece. Middle attack from Rinker. Deflected at the net. And a touch call there. Give Allie Rinker kill number 6 of the game. 2 blocks to go along with that. 16-8 the score. Mountain View has struggled to stay within halfway of Cokeville's score in this third set. Block from Meeks. We'll get him 1 point closer. Lily Richardson tried to swing on a Camille Nate one-handed fist pump setup. Did not work there. 16-9 the score. Rinker just over the net and an ace. Allie Rinker with the ace, and it's 16-10. Mountain View climbed back a few times today, trying to do so again. Second ace of the day for Allie. Tied on the net, and Nate pushes it over. Hutchings does the same for Mountain View. Back to Cokeville's side. At the middle, Richardson off the hands of Olivia Meeks. However, there is a net touch of Richardson's. 3 straight points out of the break, 16-11. Coach Thompson thought about a timeout. Not taking it yet. Or is he? Timeout taken, Cokeville. Delayed call there. He was going back and forth on that. 16-11. Cokeville leads Mountain View in this third set on a First Bank presentation of Buffs Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Well, after the break, it was 3 straight points for Mountain View. And as we saw in set number 1, Coach Thompson takes a timeout, doesn't like that, tries to right the ship. Mountain View serving, Cokeville down by 5. Rinker with the serve. The first attack is Riley Teichert, and straight out of the break, it's a point to Teichert and the Panthers. 8 kills for Riley. 17-11 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. It was a big swing by Riley, and Casey knew she had no chance of getting hands up, so she threw her left foot up and tried to get maybe a white tennis shoe up on the ball. Hutchings sets up on the serve receive. Olivia Meeks out of bounds on the attack. 18-11 the score. Cokeville on the serve. Emily Bugas sets up to Hutchings. Middle attack Meeks. High return. Grazes home of the Panthers sign up in the rafters level. And a middle attack. Riley Teichert goes cross course, sharp cross. out of bounds, untouched. Point, Mountain View, 18-12. Casey Bugis serving. 6-point lead still for Cokeville. Nate with the first touch. The serve just cleared the net. Into the net on the attack. And Peterson, no good on that. 18-13, back to Bugis. Ball did not get over following the serve of Casey. Here's serve number 2. It's too long and it's out. 19-13. Serve back to Bailey Allred on Cokeville's side. Bugis with the first touch. Rinker on the set to Stevens. Deflected at the net. Forces Sydney Brown to make a save on it. 10-foot line roll shot from Tykert. Back to Mountain View. Hutchings to Dellinger. Under the ball. Out of bounds. And no touch called between the four of them. Point. Cokeville. 20-13. Cokeville leads it. Bailey Allred again serving. 5 points away to a 12-point needed for Mountain View. Left-handed swing shot from Kylie Dellinger. Push over. Camille Nate gets the dump set kill. 21-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tricky shot from Camille. She does not dump over a lot. That's just her third kill of the contest, one in each set. And Emily Bugis misses on the return, makes it 22-13. Ace to Allred, her third of the set. Over to Rinker, bump set from Hutchings. 10-foot line shot, Stevens into the donut hole for a kill. 22-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View trails by 8. Camry Hutchings, the sophomore setter, back to serve. Puts Emily Bugis on the bench for Mountain View. Dellinger, Timms, and Stevens up into the front line with the Buffs. Nate sets up middle of the 10-foot line to Tykert outside, and long swing from Riley Tykert is out of bounds. Point back Mountain View's way. They still are 10 away to Cokeville's just 3. 22-15. Hutchings serves just over, down and returned over the net by Sydney Brown. Casey Bugis to Hutchings. Middle, no, to right side attack from Ashley Timms. Dug up from behind. Riley Tykert sent it to the way back. Emma Tykert was there to get it over. Back to Mountain View. Haley Stevens with 2 blockers on her. Sends one off the deflection. Tykert with the first touch, then to Nate. Riley Tykert on the attack. Cross quarter. Allie Rinker is there. Camry Hutchings to the middle. Dellinger is blocked and may have been 4 hits either way. 23-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Riley Tykert serving. Hard serve is out. Bugis went to return on a push-up, then ducked down and let it swing past her. 23-16. Stevens on the serve over. Nate sets to Tykert on the outside position through 2 blockers of Timms and Dellinger for the kill. Set point number 1 for Cokeville. Peterson is out, Richardson in. That middle blocker. 24-16. Sydney Brown serving. The libero for Cokeville. Sends it back middle. Cortland Condis with the first touch. Rinker attacks. Roll shot on a little cross quarter. High set from Nate back to Tykert trying to win it. Bugis sends it into the stands. 25-16. The final in set number 3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Yeager's Auto Body. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been at the top of the game in auto repair. West Star Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, West Star is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep.
In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
Set number 4 about to begin. The third set goes Cokeville's way, as did the first. 25-14 the first set to Cokeville, 25-16 the third. Mountain View taking the second, 26-24. Mountain View sets up on the right side of the net, Cokeville on the left. Opening serve is Lily Richardson's. And Cokeville sends it over, and we're back underway. Set number 4, possibly a decider, unless Mountain View can come back from the 1 and 3. An antenna touch, a delayed call there. Called by the players and called by Coach Thompson, and then got by the down official. 1-0 to start it off on the Benedict's Market and True Value board goes to Cokeville. Second serve for Richardson following the net, the antenna touch, and out of bounds call. She sets up in the paint of the basketball court at the free throw line and then sends it over. Middle attack from Rinker. Deflected at the net. Tykert, and she gets the first touch. Tykert and Nate go into each other and run into him. Tykert gets it over. Outside attack, Rinker, cross quarter. Emma with the first touch. Nate back set to Allred. Casey Bugis wipes that one out, sends it right to Hutchings. Meeks is blocked, and the point is Cokeville's. 9-2, 2-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Again, we'll be in Lyman tomorrow. Lyman versus Big Piney for football. Pregame at 2:20 right here on MyLocalRadio.com, and kickoff at 3. Friday, we'll be in Mountain View with the Buffs taking on the Buffs. Graybull versus Mountain View, 3 o'clock kickoff, 2:20 pregame. Outside attack, Riley Tykert down the line, and Bugis returns it into the bleachers. 3-0 Cokeville, and momentum rolling home way in the fourth set. And then we'll be capping off that Friday night with volleyball action at 7 p.m. scheduled time, Mountain View versus Lyman, to end the regular season. Back to Mountain View's side, Camry Hutchings outside to Meeks, and a great save by Tykert. Coach Thompson said he'd love to have the serve or the receive and passing be a little better on his team. It's been pretty good today against Mountain View. Nate outside to Tykert, and a kill for Riley off the hands of Camry Hutchings going down the line. It's 4-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 4-0, and Riley Tykert picks up her 9th kill. Both her and Peterson with 8 kills in the game. Emma Tykert with 5 and Tana Tykert with 3. Push from Bugis in the back row. 4-0 the score. Nate outside to Tykert. Cross quarter. Stevens can't handle it. 5-0. Timeout taken by Mountain View. will take it with them. This is the First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com. 5-0. Cokeville leads Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and True Value board.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
5-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Jake Hibbard welcoming you back on MyLocalRadio.com to Cokeville High School in the final week of the regular season. Next week on Friday, November 1st, we have day one of regionals. That's also the quarterfinals for the playoffs. Both Lyman and Mountain View have qualified in the football realm for the playoffs. Casey Bugis goes down to the ground. You can hear the skidding of the skin off her knee as she bumps it over. And one shot over back Cokeville to Allie Rinker on the Mountain View side. She attacks on the outside for the first point Mountain View's way in set number 4. Cokeville leads the count 2-1. Allie Rinker attacking today, just her 6th kill as she goes back to serve. High return from Tykert. Nate outside. Riley Tykert's blocked from Meeks. Picked up by Sydney Brown. High bump on the second. Nate pushes it over. Looking for a corner. Rinker with the first touch. Hutchings outside to Stevens. Cross court out of bounds. Point to Cokeville. Take it away. A touch called. 5-2. A touch overrules that out of bounds shot from Stevens and give her the kill. 12 kills for Haley. Rinker serves it over. Nate tied on the net to the middle. Peterson with a big swing, but Rinker gets a push up. Cross quarter from Stevens. High return by Tykert. Riley Tykert down the line. No cross quarters. She goes around 2 blockers. Splits the gap between Rinker and Bugis. 6-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tykert the first in 2 double digits for Cokeville today. 4-point lead. Allred. Good serve. Hutchings is called for a lift, trying to back up on the high return, but over her back. 7-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Allred serves over again. Backline attack from Rinker. Just rolls over. One return back to Mountain View side. Hutchings dumps it. 1, 2, and a third bumped over by Cokeville. It was Nate on the third. Hutchings returns it over the net, tee off, and it's out of bounds as Tykert, that being Riley Tykert, had the ball floating over her side of the net. She swung on it, but got under the ball. 7-3. Mountain View down by 4. Casey Bugis with the serve. Olivia Meeks on the bench. Kylie Dellinger in at middle blocker. Haley Stevens still up into the front line, as is Camry Hutchings. First touch from Riley Tykert. She gets the attack from Nate as well. Cross quarter off the hands of Rinker. 7-3 becomes 8-3. .47 p.m. that is, here on a Wednesday night. Game about, let's say about an hour and 20 minutes old. Did not get started anywhere close to 6 o'clock. Camille Nate wins a joust at the net between her and Stevens. Touches that one down, and it's 9-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over from Cokeville back to Mountain View. Backline libero attack from Bugis. She got a big swing at it from the right side, but it's handled. Bumped over by Peterson on the third. Back to Mountain View. Hutchings to the middle. Dellinger at the middle block. We're Tykert to Nate. High jump set to Peterson. Hutchings picks it up for the Buffs. Bump set from Bugis to Dellinger. Goes over behind the back and bumps it over. Jump set from Nate. Tips it over. Does Tykert. Over one blocker. Hutchings saves that one. Sharp cross from Stevens is partially deflected. 9-3 the score. Make it 9-4. It's out of bounds on a swing from Emma Tykert. Ashley Timms checks in for Emily Bugis. That puts Camry Hutchings back to serve. Mountain View down by 5. Punches it over, does Hutchings. Sydney Brown on the first touch. Outside Tykert, a little bit late on that swing, but got it over. Stevens has to back up on a set from Rinker. Sharp cross. Tykert gets into position to hit. Instead, it's a dump set behind the back from Nate. She fooled everyone, including her team. 10-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tykert was setting up, as was the block, to try to deflect any shot sent in from Tykert, but instead, Nate just turned around with her body. She kept it facing the outside and dumped it over her back. Rinker with a kill down the line. Gets one back. She has 7 in the game. 10-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve to Mountain View and Haley Stevens. Nate outside. Tykert winds up. Out of bounds. Didn't see a touch there. None called. 10-6. Serve over from Stevens. Nate outside. Big block from Dellinger and Timms. And it's out and down on Cokeville's side. Dellinger and Timms combined for the block there. 10-7, another point for Mountain View. This is about the time when Coach Thompson usually tries to shore the tide. Dellinger from the back line. Kill. Hit it to the back corner. Sydney Brown getting a hand up on it. That was it. 10-8 the score. Mountain View climbing close to all the way back in. Stevens serves. Tykert against 2 blockers. This time it's dug out of the net, but behind the back of Dellinger and out of bounds. 11-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Nate serves for Cokeville. Right to Rinker. Back set to Timms. She pushes it over. And net touch called? Yes, indeed. Net touch called on Cokeville. On who? Didn't see who it was on. 12-8 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And it ends up going against Ashley Timms. Okay. Well, it was marked on Cokeville's side, but it was a number 13. And that is Ashley Timms, so it's called against Mountain View. So that's why the score goes 12-8. Camille Nate serves. Jumps it over. Bugus with the first touch. Hutchings outside. Rinker is blocked, but out of bounds. Kill for Allie. Getting her swing going late in the 4th set, 12-9. Late in the match, I should say. We're about not even quite to midway through this second. Just about. Midway through this 4th, I should say. Timms, that being Caitlin, serves it over. Nate to the outside. Tykert. Haven't seen her in a set with a kill. Tana Tykert, her 4th of the game. 13-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Timms is out. Put Casey Bugus back into the back row defense. And Emma Tykert serves for Cokeville. Condis with the first touch. Hutchings to the middle. Tip over. Olivia Meeks is picked up by Barnes. Outside, and Riley Tykert's blocked. Stays up. And tried again, Tykert, this time into the net. Won't go down in the books as a block, but Meeks and Timms combined to put Cokeville out of system there. 13-10. Emily Bugus serving. Tykert with the first touch, then to Nate. From the far right to the left, Tykert swings on it. Bugus picks it up. A long run for Hutchings, though. A light bump close to the net from Rinker. And it's a kill for Richardson off the hands of Meeks. It was high up and looked like she went over the net. 14-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over from Cokeville. Was Richardson there. The middle attack, it's Allie Rinker. And she's into double digits now with her kills. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 away from double digits for Rinker. 14-11 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Rinker serves. We'll hear from Allie on Friday, 2 days from now, for the Mountain View Lyman volleyball game. Pancake from Bugis is up, and then sister Casey Bugis pushes it over to the middle. Richardson bounces it off the tape. No, that was Peterson. It's down, though, 15-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 10 points away from winning this in 4 sets and picking up their what would be their 25th win of the season for Cokeville. Hutchings to the middle, and Meeks swings it into the net. 16-11. All red serves for Cokeville. Bugis with the first touch, and then Hutchings back sets to Meeks. She wide open, swings it, but it's blocked down by Peterson. A timeout taken by Mountain View. That's their first of the set. It's 17-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
17-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as we welcome you back on MyLocalRadio.com to Cokeville High School. Set number 4 here. Cokeville leading 2-1 and leading the set 17-11. Best of 5. All red serves over for Cokeville to Mountain View. Stevens winds up at the outside position. 4 hits called as she knocked it into the tape. 18-11. Another point for Cokeville. And All Red winds back to serve. Bugis to Hutchings on a dump to the middle. And Camry with the kill. For Camry, it's kill number 3. She also has a block to her name. 18-12, though. Mountain View down by 6 and running out of time here in this match. We have 3 more contests in the Bridger Valley on the MyLocalRadio.com network here in between now and Friday night. Lyman football tomorrow at 3. Mountain View football on Friday at 3. And then Mountain View versus Lyman volleyball at 7 on Friday. Outside attack, Tykert sends it down as 19-12. 11 kills for Riley Tykert and a 7-point lead for Cokeville. She goes back to serve. Jump serves to the back middle. It's Rinker to Hutchings. Outside, Stevens tipped up at the top of the net by Nate. She sets to the middle. Stevens Peterson winds up. Bugis returns it over the net. Tykert with the return, trying to get it over. Now the attack. Gets it through 2 blockers. Rinker touches it. It goes into the Mountain View bench. And 20-12 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cokeville leading 2-1 and 5 points away from a set and match winner. Riley Tykert sends it long and in. Ruled inbounds. For the ace is Riley Tykert. Tykert serves as Bugis with the first touch. Stevens off the line block. Nate sends it over to Tykert. She rolls it over the block to the middle. Dellinger bounces it off the tape. High return close to the rafters. Stays out of them. Tykert cross quarter, out of bounds, but I think I saw a touch. Nope, nothing to say. Nothing to see there. 21-13 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View trails Cokeville in the sets and points. They do have the serve, however. Hutchings long, inbounds. Sydney Brown with the return. And a kill for Emma Tykert as Ashley Timms risks life and limb, going face first into the bleachers. 22-13. Sydney Brown serving. And an ace for Sydney Brown off of the hands of Allie Rinker. 23-13 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brown set to serve again. Had 3 aces from All Red in set 3. 23-13. Line drive serve from Brown again, this time by Dellinger. It's touched up. Corner push from Tim. She races back to her right side position, trying to block on Tykert. Bugis gets a return up, but it goes nowhere. We're at match point, 24-13 on the kill by Tykert. Serving is Sydney Brown for the winner. 24-13. Line drive in. Bugis can't get a push up on it. It's an ace to end it. Sydney Brown wins it for Cokeville, and they will finish off their season this Friday, trying to go a month and 2 weeks without a loss heading into regionals and state. Cokeville wins in 4 sets to Mountain View today, 25-13 the final on the ace by Sydney Brown. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View Sports by watching all the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNY 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the two schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNY 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Because of you, I felt not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
We're here to help strengthen our community. Yes, that's right. At Trona Valley Credit Union, we take pride in belonging to our community. We encourage people of every race, gender, and belief to come together and give their all towards the betterment of our community. It's about people helping people. When you join our credit union, you also join a movement. At Trona Valley, we are thankful for our members, member NCUA, trust NCUA, a credit union system that is safe, sound, and secure.
Four-set win for Cokeville today. They moved to 25-5 on the season with 1 game left in the regular schedule. Then it's regionals and state after that. As for Mountain View, they're at 500, 15-15 on the year with 1 game left to go. And it's a big one, and it's at Mountain View. As we've gone dark here, we're getting a feed from the Cokeville High School AV program today. I think it's the AV student. That's what it used to be called, at least. Anyways, thank you to them, and great camera work done by them. As Mountain View and Lyman will do battle this Friday at 7 p.m. And we'll have it for you here at Mountain View High School. The winner of that contest is number 2 in the Southwest, and will get to play Powell. The loser will have to play Lander, unless there's something crazy that I'm missing. I think Worland has wrapped up the number 1 seed by way of tiebreakers. But either way, that's a big difference. So it doesn't matter what happens in this game today, although Mountain View certainly wanted to gain a little bit of momentum heading into that match. A loss in a non-conference is just that. It doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. However, this Friday's game will be a big one. Don't make sure to either show up, I guess, or join us online at MyLocalRadio.com. We'll also be on the radio for football starting tomorrow at 2:20 p.m. on KNYN 99.1 FM. Lyman hosting Big Piney on their senior day. And then Friday, senior day for Mountain View, 2:20 pregame with a 3 o'clock kick for that. Mountain View taking on Grable. Time for the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the Game. Going to give it to Caitlin Timms today for her ace back in the second set. She doesn't get a whole lot of opportunities. She's in there for serving, and that's it. And she does the best thing she can do. Get an ace, get a hole in one. And that's what she did today. So she's the recipient of the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the Game. 25-13 the final in set number 4 after Cokeville wins the first set 25-14 in the third set 25-16. Mountain View's lone win was 26-24 over Cokeville in this contest. That'll do it for us. We'll be back on again tomorrow at 2:20 p.m. on mylocalradio.com or KNYN 99.1 FM. Lyman versus Big Piney. And then Friday, same time, 2:20 pregame, 3 o'clock kick versus Mountain View. And then 7 o'clock, Mountain View versus Lyman, the Bridger Valley Volleyball, to close out the regular season. Thank you for listening. I'm Jake Hibbard. Join us tomorrow, Friday, whenever, for the playoffs as well.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Today's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive of Mountain View Buffaloes Athletics. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Mountain View broadcasts, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Buffs!